Hello everyone, and today I'm finally going to film my Sephora haul. I've been meaning to film this for a while now. I just have a ton of stuff piled up in front of me. So it's gonna be kind of a big haul. It's collective and a mix of like birthday presents, things I got with a gift card, and then just things that I've bought. Some of this I've already talked about, but I wanted to just do a roundup because I've had some products that I've shown on my Instagram or shown quickly in videos, and I've gotten comments asking about my thoughts on them or whatever. So yeah, I just wanted to film this and get my thoughts out. If you want to see any of these in action and like a get ready with me or anything like that, I will try my best to do that, especially with some of the larger palettes, and I will mention if I have a review specifically on any of these. So I'm going to start with eye products. I got quite a few eye products. The first things are these Phytosurgence Flash Fluorescence eyeshadows. These are part of their new, I think it's called their In Bloom collection. Sorry if you hear my cat, she's right under the camera. But I got 3 of the 4 new shades. First one is Orchid Overload, which is the sparkly topper that I've used the most. Sorry about the focus. But it just has like a translucent base with some shimmer in it, but it leans more pink, and I will swatch it for you. These aren't like a super impactful glitter. They're more of that scattered, like natural glitter, which I actually really like, especially now that we're back in classes. My eyeshadow, I've really been wanting to keep more on the barely there side. Like today, just something very light, not super colorful, not super deep, not super impactful, just very basic. And although this is beautiful and not just like basic in a bad way, it's not gonna be like a super impactful thing. So if you are into impactful shadows, you might not like these, but if you're into that like sheer topper, these are really beautiful. I also got Fractal Freesia, which is the same thing, but it's more of like a beige base right there. So I didn't need both of these, but I decided to get them both, and they are so beautiful. And it's not like the type of cream formula where like your finger falls into it like the Charlotte Tilbury or the Auric ones. It's more of like a pressed thing, a little bit drier, not in a bad way though, but it's not like a whipped cream. It's more like a potted. And then I got the shade Wild Wisteria, which this is my favorite. It's like a sheer purple. You can build it up to this color, but on the lids it can just be a really sheer purple shade, and it has a little bit of shimmer. But I love to just sheer this one out, blend it into the crease, and then add a little bit of Orchid Overload on top, and it's the most beautiful look. I think this is one of my favorite single eyeshadows because it can be blended out into a super natural purple, and it's not too colorful. It almost looks like I'm just wearing a pink on my eyes, but as you get up close you can tell that it's a purple, but it's still really natural and something that I could wear to class. So really like these. The Wild Wisteria is a little bit drier, I would say, which just makes it really easy to blend because it's super thin. Not dry in like a crusty way, just really beautiful. And then I got one other cream eyeshadow, which I got like a Sephora Rouge reward, which if you don't know what it is, I think it's 2,500 points on Sephora. You can trade in for $100 like gift certificate basically, and they release on like Tuesdays and Thursdays or something. But this is the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize in the shade Pillow Talk. You guys know I love these. I've only used this like once or twice, but I'm gonna probably pull it out this week. It's a really beautiful shade, like a dusty rosy pink kind of. It's a little bit deeper than the other shades I have, but nothing like super smoky or intense. Just, I mean, it's gonna create a shadow on the eye, so that's why I haven't used it as much, and it leans a little bit on the purpley side, but I wouldn't say it's too mauve-y. It's just not super warm, but I really like these. Love the formula on these, and I just wanted to pick up this shade because it looks stunning, and I think like as a fall color it's gonna be so pretty. And then the other thing I picked up with the Rouge reward, I've already talked about this, but it's the Patrick Ta eyeshadow palette, but I don't think I've shown this on YouTube. I'm actually wearing this today. I mixed these 2 mattes in the crease, and then I put this matte lightly on the outer corner and this one on the lower lash line. And then I lightly tapped this peachy shimmer right on the lid. And I haven't gotten a ton of use out of this, but I think now that the semester has started, I'm going to be using this one a lot because it's just basic, and it's not basic in a bad way. I think these mattes are perfect just to throw in the crease for every day, and especially these two shimmers I love because they're more of the sparkly topper shades versus a really impactful shimmer, and I think topper shades are really going to be my thing this year because they're almost like barely there. It's like I'm not wearing much makeup, but it's still there, and they're really beautiful. You can build them up, and they're super glittery and reflective. I don't think this palette is worth the price for me because I don't reach for it every day. I mean, I will see as the semester goes on, and I don't know. I think if I didn't have my Makeup by Mario palette, this might be a little bit more worth the money, but if you're looking for like a brown neutral palette, I think this is great. So yeah, I've gotten a lot of questions on it. I think the formula and everything is good. I don't think there's anything wrong with the palette. I just think it's a high price tag. I like, to me, these shimmers are the reason why this palette stands out, especially this peachy one. I absolutely adore. But if you have a ton of palettes and you have a ton of neutrals, shimmer toppers aren't your vibe, or it's just not in your budget, I would maybe pass on this one. It's a good neutral palette, so it's up to you if it's worth the price and everything like that. Yeah, so if you were asking my thoughts on I thought this was good, I would say yes. I think if you bought this and you're okay with the price, you're gonna enjoy this palette. It is a big price tag to kind of splurge on, so that's kind of up to you on if you want to buy that, which I know isn't a helpful answer, but it's also going to be the answer for this little quad that I've gotten a lot of questions about. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Eye Filter. Bunch of words on the back, but it's the Star Aura quad. I got this for my birthday from my boyfriend. I think this palette is great. I really love it, but me personally, I don't think it's worth the price. It's like $50 for 4 shades, just very precious. But I don't think the formula is a letdown, the shades are a letdown, it's just expensive, which is hard for me to recommend or not recommend because I recommend the formula, I recommend the colors and everything like that, but the price is just a personal thing that might hold you back. These are more like subtle shimmers or subtle like satin shimmers that I think, especially this school year, I'm gonna get a lot of use out of because on the lid, they're not super impactful and they just add a color with a little bit of shimmer in the sun. This one is more like a glitter topper. I'm gonna swatch my 2 favorite shades. So I love this pink one. So there's that pink, and as you can see when you swatch it out, like it's just going to give a tiny bit of reflection, but it's nothing like a super like Natasha Denona impactful shade. And then this top left one is more of a topper shade, but still nothing like crazy intense. It's hard because the lighting is going to make everything look super shimmery, but it's just that soft satin that I think looks really pretty on the lids. If you like work in an office or you just want something more subtle and you like that kind of makeup, this quad is gorgeous and I'm going to get a lot of use out of this, but I don't think I would have bought this for myself because it's such a precious price tag. We're like over $10 per shade. I just don't think is worth it for me. I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch the other shades. I've gotten a few questions about Charlotte Tilbury items and I think I want to do like a whole Charlotte Tilbury video, but since I have this palette out, this is the bottom left shade and then the bottom right shade. So like the shades are really pretty. They all are like that soft satiny shimmer and they all have a reflect to them, but they're not like what's popular now. They're not a super glittery thing. They're not super impactful. You're not gonna put it on and be like, oh my gosh, but it's gonna be that pretty soft shade. I think on like mature eyelids or dry eyelids, this would be really good too. But for me, this is my perfect, I don't want to look like I'm wearing too much makeup, but I still want to wear makeup, little quad. And I really do enjoy it. So if this formula and these shades are up your alley and it's in your price range, I would go ahead and recommend it, but you can definitely dupe that at a cheaper price tag. And while I'm here, I also wanted to swatch this peachy topper from the Patrick Ta palette. It has like a sheerer base compared to the Charlotte Tilbury ones and more of a reflect. And it's so beautiful. It has like gold and champagne and pink and almost like kind of blue little shimmers. You're not gonna see like a super colorful look on your eye, but it just adds so much dimension. And that shade is literally the reason I bought the palette, because It's so stunning, and I don't have a peach shade like that in my collection, and I love toppers, so I was like, I have to get it. So okay, and then one last eyeshadow palette. I'm not going to talk about much because I have, I think, a video on this should be up, but it's the Pat McGrath Utopian Dream Mothership. It's Mothership 9. This is one that I don't think I'm going to get that much use out of right now because I'm not wearing these kind of colors or formulas to class, which kind of makes me think like, well, I probably shouldn't have bought this because like I'm not wearing super bold colors or super glittery colors to class, but it is a absolutely gorgeous palette, especially these two shades right here. Look at those shifts. They're just really pretty. They're more glitter toppers. I think this will be like my weekend palette, and the Patrick Ta and the Charlotte Tilbury will be like my weekday palette. But this one is just stunning. Like I love this palette. It's so pretty to look at, and I think out of all the motherships, this is one of my favorite color stories. It's hard to say because I really do like them all. And this is one where I really can't tell you if this is worth the price. It's going to be a good formula, and that's what I can tell you, but you really have to look at, are you going to use these shades? Are the glittery toppers or the soft shimmers things that you're going to use? And is the color story up your alley? And then you have to see if the price tag is something you're willing to pay. But I will say that the formula on this palette is exquisite. These two shimmers feel like creams when you swatch them, but it also means that on the eyelids, they're gonna crease like creams a little bit. So I would definitely use an eye primer and maybe do a sheer layer of them because they are so creamy. I will swatch this shade. It's that pink. So pretty. But again, I just don't think I'm gonna get a ton of use out of this right now. I think on the weekends though, I'm gonna use this a ton, or when I'm filming, I just wanna reach for these all the time because look at that beautiful shift. So not worth the money for me probably, just because I'm not gonna get a ton of use at it during the school year, but it is a gorgeous Pat McGrath palette and I'm really happy to have it in my collection. Next, I guess I'll do cheek products. I honestly don't know how I got this much makeup, but apparently I did. The first one that I'm going to talk about is actually the blush that I'm wearing today and the blush that I cannot stop wearing. It's the Pat McGrath Divine Blush in the shade Divine Rose. I got this in PR through Octoly, but I didn't have an obligation to put it in this video or anything. This is the best blush to ever grace my face. Ever. I use this one more than my powders, other powders, more than my creams. I cannot get enough of this blush. The formula is exquisite. I apply it and it just blends instantly. I'm wearing it lightly today and like there was no harsh line ever blended in. It looks like velvet on the skin and it never looks powdery and it doesn't feel heavy. It's weightless and almost looks like a cream on the skin. And this shade is, holy crap, it's so stunning. It's not gonna swatch as good, but it kind of just looks like that in the pan. Or it's just like a cooler pink, but it's not that super bright, cool pink that we see a lot of the times. It's one that will go with a lot of neutral looks and just looks absolutely stunning on the cheeks. I'm obsessed with this powder blush formula. This is my favorite blush formula in my collection, and it lasts all day long on me. I can build it up to be more pigmented. I was wearing a mask for like 2.5 hours in lab today. I haven't touched on my makeup at all, my lips or my cheeks. I was wearing under a mask and didn't go anywhere, didn't rub off on my mask. This blush formula is just so good, and the shade is absolute perfection, and I love this so much. This is one that it is worth the price tag for me, even though it was so expensive. I also didn't pay for this, but the price tag itself, I would pay for these blushes. I might end up getting another shade because it's so good, and I would recommend these. I think this is the #1 product in this video. I can't get enough, but one that would be close is this Makeup by Mario Soft Glow Highlighter. I watched reviews and I knew that this was good, but I didn't know it would be this good. I got the shade Pearl. I probably use this every day that I do my makeup. It is absolutely stunning. It has the impact and it doesn't just look like you're wearing nothing, but you can sheer it out and have it be a super sheer highlighter and almost just look like a cream on the skin. I'm wearing it now, but I did a super sheer amount because like my mask covers all of this anyways. And you can build it up to be a little bit, not blinding, but just more impactful. It's the most versatile powder highlight and it doesn't look like powder on the skin. I've said that about all my powder highlights, but this one especially, like, just melts into your face. Who am I recommending 2 powders? I would rank these over my creams right now because I love these so much. So that says anything, go buy these. And then I got 2 other creams. The first one is a blush from Phytosurgence in the shade Molten. It's their Skin Spark. I didn't have any shades like this, so I decided to go ahead and pick this up with my order. These blushes are really creamy and really pigmented. It's like a mousse in the pan. I don't know if you can tell, but super pigmented. You need such a small amount and then you just blend it out. This one's an orange and you can tell on the edges that it kind of has like a yellowy base, I want to say. And this isn't my traditional color and I don't like it when it's a bolder orange. I only like it when it's super sheer to just look like a flush on the skin. And then it's really pretty because you don't get that harsh orange on the skin, which sometimes I like the harsh pink or like stuff like that. But harsh orange, don't love on my skin, but blended out really sheerly, I do like it. I just have to be careful not to apply too much, but it does blend really easily and it's a really nice formula, lasts all day, and the Phytosurgence products are pretty affordable, so I don't know if I'd repurchase it just because it's not a shade that I pull for every day and the formula isn't something that I can put on without thinking. But it is really pretty and I would recommend the cream blushes if you've had your eye on them. And then I got the Glossier Solar Paints. Yeah, Solar Paint. I bought these using Glossier credit and I did do a video on them, but I'm going to be honest, haven't used them since that video. It's not something that's super convenient for me to apply in the mornings. I use my Fenty cream bronzer in the mornings before class. And it's not hard to apply. I just apply a sheer amount on the cheeks and then I blend it out and it's really easy, but it's also just not my favorite shade. I want to probably pull out the shade Flare, which is the one I just swatched. Maybe I'll pull this one out sometime soon. It's hard because I've been waking up early for lab, so I don't want to do anything hard in the mornings, but I'm gonna pull this one out soon and use it again because it's not a bad formula and it's not a bad shade. It's just not my favorite formula or my favorite shade, but it is really pretty on the skin. I don't know, I'm kind of neutral on these products. I think if you get it, you'll probably like it, but it's not something that you need to rush out and buy. So I don't know, that's my thought on those. I have a whole video on it and I will keep using those, maybe mention it somewhere. I don't know where I'll mention it, but I don't think it'll become a holy grail, which for me, I kind of just use the same bronzer. But a bronzer that I do really like is the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Shaping Stick. I also got this for my birthday and it's in the shade Light. I got this because I decluttered my Milk Makeup one, which was my other more matte bronzer stick, and I'm using up the Fenty one. This one is really nice. It is really creamy, but it still sets down to a matte. It's not too pigmented, but it's not sheer like the Fenty one. And it lasts pretty well on my skin, blends out really easily, and I do like the tone. It's a little bit more on the warmer side compared to my Fenty cream bronzer, which I have in Butter Biscuit, but I really do like this formula. Really easy to blend out, and I would say it's a pretty basic stick cream formula. I forgot to say this, but another eye product I got is I just got a replacement for the Fenty Beauty Eye Primer. I used one up, so I bought a new one, and I've been loving it still. All right, we're almost done. I got 2 lip products. I got these yesterday, but I've tried these formulas before, which, speaking of, I have another shade of this Bite Beauty lipstick. Let me grab that. Okay, so I got one in PR, which is the shade Sugar Buns, and I've had this one for a little while. I feel like it would go really well with the Pat McGrath blush, but it's more of that like mauvey, cool toned pink. That isn't my everyday shade, but it is really pretty. Formula is like I think it's like silicone, because when you apply it on the lips, your lips can just glide across each other, but they're still matte. And I've been wearing this one for 3 or 4 hours. I don't know. I've been wearing it under mask, and now it is more dry. My lips don't feel dried out, but like I'm not wearing a lip balm, so I don't know. I don't feel uncomfortable, but it's not like I'm wearing lip gloss or anything. And it's not as slidey just because it has been on my lips for a while. I bought the shade Sesame yesterday, which is what I'm wearing on my lips. And if you have similar taste to me and a similar complexion, go buy Sesame. This is the most beautiful lipstick I've ever put on my lips. I'll put a little bit more on. It looks just like my lips. I would say it's my perfect My Lips But Better shade. It's like on the pinky nude side, and it's so pretty. Really comfortable on the lips. It's when you first use it, you kind of have to glide it back and forth a few times because it is on that like sheerer formula. It's not a super creamy lipstick. It's like more of a matte, so it does have to warm up a little bit, but it's not a drying matte at all. So I don't know, it's just a beautiful, sorry I have stuff on the inside of my lips. It's a beautiful formula. And it definitely is matte, so if you're not into that at all, I would skip these, but they're not drying to me or uncomfortable, and they're not too pigmented, so you can have them more of a blotted lip, but they're really beautiful. I heard that they're the better version of the matte Charlotte Tilbury lipsticks. I haven't tried the matte ones. I've tried the more creamy ones, which I like these better than the Charlotte Tilbury ones, but if you have the Charlotte Tilbury, like Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, and it's too drying, or you like that formula, try out the Bite ones because they have a ton of shades and the formula is just amazing. And then I also got a new Tower 28 gloss in the shade Spicy. I've been wanting this because I've seen a lot of people getting the Fenty Beauty Heat lip gloss, which I can't use because it has fragrance. So I decided to pick this one up, and it definitely is more pigmented, but on the website it even says that this one is more pigmented than the other Tower 28 glosses. So I still need to use this one more, and it makes it, since it's so pigmented, if you apply a small amount, it's a little bit harder to blend, but if you apply too much, it's going to be really pigmented. So I'm still playing with it, but I do really like it. I wish it was a tad more sheer, but I still have really liked it when I applied it, and I love this formula, and I really wanted a red color, so I'm glad I picked it up. They're pretty affordable, and I'm definitely going to get a lot of use out of it. I've actually almost used up a few of my Tower 28 glosses, so my favorite lip gloss formula ever. I got a sample of an Ilia mascara, and then I got 2 skincare products, and then the video's over. So I got the Youth to the People Kale and Green Tea Cleanser. It's in the shower right now, so I just have the box. I've tried a sample of this, and I really liked it, and I did really like it last night. It's not stripping, but it's one that's not like a hydrating cleanser, so it is going to really cleanse your skin, which I've been really wanting because I've been using the CeraVe hydrating one, and I just feel like it's not cleaning my skin enough. I use that one in the mornings if I'm not just using water, but this one at the end of the day, especially when I've been wearing makeup as a second cleanse, I just want something more, not stripping, but just feels like it's cleaning better. I do really like this one, and it didn't make my skin feel too dried out. And then I got another cleansing balm. I've used 2 or 3 of the Glow Recipe one. I love that one, but I just wanted to try something new, so I got the Pharmacy Green Clean. I tried a sample of this one too, and I really liked it, and I think I might like this one more than the Glow Recipe one because it is less waxy and I think washes off better, but I love the Glow Recipe one, and I might end up going back to that, but just wanted to try something new, so why the heck not? I'm almost empty with the Glow Recipe one, so I got this one. So that was a long video, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions about any of these products or want to see me do a get ready with any of them, just let me know and I will try my best to answer or do that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.